This is Shane Watson and we're weighing in.
Yes, weighing in with Shane Watson. Shane, we've just seen Junaid Bostan put on a great performance. How big a star have you got on your hands?
Very big. I mean, that was a good learning fight from tonight. I'm actually, in some ways, happy it went to points. I know that his trainer Grant will be. It's valuable to get the rounds in, as always. Valuable for him to learn. He got caught a couple of times. It's something new that he hasn't really experienced before. He's fighting his second undefeated guy, but he's never fought anyone that's held like a title and whatnot. So that's another step. And a guy that was really coming to win tonight. So putting all these things together, and the fact that I actually thought he won every round, bar the referee giving him one round. And you've got to remember, he's only 21 years old. 21 years of age, sorry. And he isn't an ex-Olympian. He isn't an international amateur superstar. He's just a guy that turned over pro young, had a half-decent amateur career, representing England and whatnot, and is taking big tests in his sixth pro fight against a guy who's beating people who are 10-1 and multiple winning record fighters. So taking that into account, he's stepping up quicker than a lot of these Olympians are.
Absolutely.
Look at the Olympians that everyone's giving sick to online right now, and look how poor they've been looking in the ring. Look how poor they've been stepping up. This guy is 21 years of age, and he's fighting undefeated champions like Ryan Amos, who came and gave it a good go tonight. Had a bit of success as well, so hopefully he can get some good opportunities moving forward as well. He's a nice guy, but he deserves a lot of credit for tonight. And also, we didn't actually have the greatest training camp, if I'm being honest. And I don't want to discredit Ryan Amos at all, but Junaid didn't spar for just over 2 weeks before the fight.
Wow.
He was really full of illness for a while. We really wanted to pull him out. He sparred well in his last spar, the one that was over a couple of weeks out. So that was the telling factor to keep him in. But it hasn't been a great training camp, if I'm being completely honest. But and he can still put on a performance like that. So, and he hurt Ryan Amos a few times. Definitely one to the body, I think in round 2 or 3. And then he hurt him quite badly in round 8. But in fairness to him, he recovered well and he's tough, and he came and gave it a good go.
Shane, as his manager, when you watch him, he likes to showboat, which us as fans we love. But you get fighters like Ben Whittaker who sort of get criticised for doing so. As his manager, is that something that you promote him to do more of, or do you want him to just focus on doing the job?
I want Junaid to be Junaid. That's who Junaid is as a person. I don't want him to be a pretender or act as someone else. And even if I wanted to, he wouldn't do it anyway. So I like him being like that. That's who he is. And he's not quite Ben Whittaker with it. Ben Whittaker's, I would say, respectfully, a lot more disrespectful with it. You know, like he's like purposely not throwing shots, putting his hands behind his back. Every now and again, if he's missed a shot by a mile, Junaid might do a little thing and then go back to punch him. It's a little bit different, and in fairness, Ben Whittaker's doing it against a far lesser opposition and is an Olympic silver medalist, so he should be doing and knowing better. It'd be different if Ben Whittaker was doing it against undefeated champions, wouldn't it? Then you'd give him a bit of respect for it, but he's not. He's doing it against guys who are virtually coming to lose, so that's why I think people get on his back about it. And Junaid's been respectful all week to Ryan Amos, so.
Shane, Junaid's stablemate Sonny Edwards, his fight against Bam Rodriguez has been announced. It's been rumoured to be in the US. Is there any chance we could see Junaid make his US debut on that card?
I would love to. I don't see why it's not something we can't speak about and try and look into. I know Junaid would love to box in the United States, and if he's the superstar we believe he is, then it'd be good for him to get that early US experience. If maybe we headline in the US one day. So definitely something I think we should talk about and look into for sure.
Away from Junaid then, your biggest fighter in name and in stature, Joe the Juggernaut Joyce, has announced his rematch against Zhang. Before I ask you about the rematch, just touching on the first fight, why did Joe come in so light?
If I'm being honest with you, there's not an actual reason for it. It's what Joe was training at. He was training relatively well at it. And he just naturally came in that light. That's not really, it's not some massive mad game plan and why it ended up that way or why the fight ended the way it did. A lot went wrong in the build up to the fight. Looking back, maybe a couple of things went wrong in camp that we could definitely fix. That's what makes me a lot more confident going into the rematch. There's a lot that everyone can improve on going forward. If we gave it everything and that was 100% Joe Joyce, then I'd be really worried about going to.
I mean, yeah, that was my next question. How much work has Joe got to do leading into the fight and in prep to be victorious in a rematch?
Well, he's got. If I'm being completely honest with you, and this is not the way I'm saying to go about it, but if I'm being completely honest, if his eye didn't close up, he would have won that fight. He was coming on strong for the last 2 rounds of that, and then Zhang was slowing down, and we know how that works with Zhang. Zhang really slows down, and Joe Joyce goes up, and that can only end in one way, if I'm being honest, right? But I'm not dependent on that. Joe still needs to be a million times better than what he was to beat Zhang in the way we want to beat him as well. We don't just want to beat him; we want to do a real good job on him. So. And I respect Zhang a lot. He's an unbelievable fighter. I've respected him before. If you watch the things I was saying in the build-up, this is a tough fight, hardest fight of Joe's career.
Not like you were with Parker.
Sorry?
Not like how you were with Parker.
No, definitely not. I learned my lesson. If Zhang hits me with no gloves on, he might not ever see me again. So, but yeah, no. But no, I'm respectful to Zhang. He's unbelievably respectful as well. The Lane brothers, great people. He's lawyer, another great guy. So yeah, no, and it's a great fight, and it's a massive fight as well. And you know what? Let's give 2 heavyweights who want to fight anyone and will fight anyone, and we'll put it back on the line again for the fans' credit, because none of those other heavyweights want to fight each other. So, what's the likes of Fury? What's the likes of AJ? What are they all doing? And just not fighting each other, leading fans on, getting them excited, think they're going to fight each other, and then they don't. So
that brings me on to my next question. Fantastically well. If Joe is successful, what's next for him? Tyson Fury was the name being mentioned before the first fight with Zhang. Is that still on the cards? Would it be? Because it was at Wembley after the Chisora fight. Obviously, they were both on stage with Usyk. Joe Joyce was like, "I'll go next."
Yeah.
What is next for Joe after the Zhang fight if he's successful?
Oh, we beat Zhang, and then the WBA manager should be called. So we either get elevated to full world champion, and essentially Joe becomes email world champion, and then we have a good fight, or whoever holds the WBA belt at the time, could be Dubois, could be Usyk, could be whoever Usyk fights in between, and if he does have a fight between them, then that's who will be mandatory for. Wicked. Shane,
it's a pleasure having you on the channel for the first time. Thank you for your time, and thank you for weighing in.
Thanks, top man, mate.